Guess you figure you're a winner.
That's it. And you're a loser. But I think you'd like to be a winner.
And you're gonna show me the way, huh?
Unless, of course, you turn into a complete asshole first. Let's move.
Adam, we didn't talk about Rummy. We didn't talk about old Rumsfeld. He's dead.
Yeah, he's he kicked the bucket. Looked very old.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of saw the picture and I was like, or the headline. I was like, oh, surprising. And I was like, no, actually not. He's probably like 89. I think he was around there. The Onion had a really good time with him. I thought it was really funny.
That's good. You can't make you laugh about death. I don't know, like, what can you laugh about, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like he was Rumsfeld. The one thing I always liked about him though was his stand-up desk. He just had this like podium that he'd work at every day.
Oh, I didn't know he had a stand-up desk. That's awesome.
Yeah. He never sat down. He stood at this podium all day and had like, I don't know, just papers, like work papers everywhere, and just like would write shit. I always liked that about him. But other than that, that's
about it.
That's about it. That's the only redeeming quality of that war criminal.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, it turns out even if you have $200 million, you still die like an old fuck.
Did he have $200 million? That wouldn't surprise
just putting
me.
that in the air. Just putting it in the air, man.
I started watching W, the Oliver Stone.
Ooh.
After I watched JFK, because we were supposed, sorry, audience members, we were supposed to do JFK, but we're not going to do JFK. Maybe we will, but
no, honestly, no, that's fine.
Well, yeah, we should.
Big
but
letdown.
That's okay. The guy who plays Rumsfeld is Scott Glenn, and I can't. Maybe you'll have to look him up, but I can't think of something like when you see his face, you're gonna be like, I know that fucking guy. He's not appropriate. Like he looks like the villain from a Tarantino movie or something. He's just too little too cool looking. Like Rumsfeld was a fucking dork.
He was
just
a huge dork.
Dork for hire. Just going around like shaking hands with madmen and fucking genocidal assholes all across the world.
Selling them
Scott
shit.
Glenn, did you say?
Yeah, 2 N's.
Listen, Scott Glenn's fucking absolutely dope looking.
Yeah, right? And I'm just like, is that supposed to be Rumsfeld? That's stupid.
Not possible, yeah.
Oh, you know who plays W? Josh Brolin. And the only thing he does to transform himself into W is squint. That's
good. Get into character.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. I thoroughly enjoyed Josh Brolin, but I don't fucking feel like there's a lot of range to work with there.
And yet, he's so fucking like, I'm thinking about him in fucking Inherent Vice as that cop that's chasing after Joaquin Phoenix and giving him shit through the whole movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's just like molto pericco. It's fucking
kind of what he does.
Yeah, that's fine, but he's great at it, man. He's
slapping his brother in the head in Goonies.
Oh,
he's going. That's right. You were telling me he's from Goonies. That's
how was he as W in W?
Oh, he's not bad. Like he's W is not really a human, so it's pretty easy to just put on that skin suit and squint. And the squint.
You guys might want to just dip into your group chat there and just double check the Scott Glenn image that I sent you guys. That's okay. Yeah. That's a guy that fucks. He's not a fucking. That's not.
That's not Rumsfeld. Like
that's. Are we sure that's the? Is that the same actor? Are we sure that looks like Michael Carradine or David Carradine?
Yeah, he's cool as hell, man.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
It does look like David Carradine. I don't think it's him, but he's got the kind of That's definitely not Rumsfeld material.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the choice that Oliver Stone went with, and the movie. Anyway, we're not here to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We're not here to talk about W. And
maybe he met the guy in a backlot or something in Hollywood and was like, "Fuck, that guy's so cool. I got to put him somewhere."
Something Rumsfeld, whatever. Just someone who's not going to have like an important role in an upcoming film of mine. I didn't finish watching. That's okay.
Just getting a beer.
So anyway, welcome everyone. It's the Extinction Agenda special. Finally, in search of the Terminator. And today we watched and get to discuss in, I don't know, whatever fucking fashion we're going to talk about it. A little movie called The Driver from 1978, written, directed by Walter Hill. I just want to say, music by Michael Small. Music on this, fucking amazing. And I don't know when else we'll get a chance.
Very great score. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of like Miles Davis, like Bitches Brew kind of sound to it. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, 70s Miles Davis for sure. Yeah. That's in my notes. Anyway, I don't know. How do we, I guess in traditional fashion, I'm going to kick it over to Adam. Well, actually, I should say why we picked this movie before. James Cameron, when talking about his preparation for making the Terminator, he cites this movie as sort of like a visual influence. Like he said, he was thinking about this movie a lot during the filming of Terminator. And so I was like, all right, gotta go check it out. See what this movie's like. So, anyway, Adam, what'd you think?
I fucking loved it. I thought it was great. It was one of those movies where I was very entertained through and through. Kind of felt like Grand Theft Auto the movie to me at some points, but I was like, that's totally cool. I thought the main character was great. When you mentioned that, Cameron thought more of the visual aspect, now I kind of get it because I didn't know that going into this. So I couldn't quite see the connection, but now I definitely see it. A lot of those sort of scenes, darkly, like dimly lit, very quiet main character. I was entertained the whole time through. The car chase scenes were great. I thought there was like really good like 70s like sound effects to the whole thing, and like classic 70s movies like car chases where it's just like, oh, here's a pile of crates and just like drive through the fucking thing. And it's just like boom, and like the like screeching and the sirens and all that. It was just really well done. I don't have many complaints about this whole thing. I was entertained for what was it, like an hour and a half plus change, I think. That cop was a dick. He was such a villain. Yeah. Maybe you're a fruiter. It's just like, he's just like such an asshole.
Man.
He's so confident and cocksure about himself. Like, and even at the end, it's just sort of like he kind of just like, wow, and it's just like I kind of felt like he just was like, wow, and just kind of moved on to the next, like, I don't know, scenario he could fuck up.
Stakes gamble scenario where he's fucking rigged the house against someone.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, it's the game, it's the slow, or it's the hunt, and it's the slow hunt. Like he was always so self-assured. I thought it was a really, really great, entertaining movie. I thought the main character was great. Love that he kind of had the nickname the Cowboy throughout, and you kind of like appreciated what he was doing as well. Like I just kind of felt like he always put it all on the line. Like the 2 times he played chicken, I thought that was great. He was just sort of like, no, this is my life. Like, what do you got on the line? And just put it all out there. So unexpectedly impressed with this movie for sure.
Yeah. That's good. None of these characters have names. I don't sure if you guys noticed, there's the driver, player, detective, glasses, and then the main guy, Brian O'Neill, he starred in Barry Lyndon. I don't know if you ever saw like Kubrick's Barry Lyndon, but he's the main guy there. And then the lady of the night, Isabel Adjani, was also in Possession, which you guys probably haven't seen, but man, she's fucking beautiful and super intense. This movie doesn't do a good job of like, because everybody's so affectless, like especially the driver and the player. They just, they don't have emotions. Maybe they'll get a little mad, or maybe very mad, but they'll never scream or act out in any respect. It's just flat affectless character. This was fucking great.
Even the scene where the driver, the cowboy, shoots that the bank robber. He's like, for someone like you with an attitude, surprised you don't carry a gun, and just bah, 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 so like emotionless, right? Like and like he had no idea he carried a gun. He actually said he was afraid of guns.
He said he doesn't like guns. He said,
that's right.
like, yeah. And so you're like, he's not carrying a gun. It's a great twist.
Yeah, it is. But again, like just that like sort of stoic kind of approach to the whole scene, like didn't show any emotion at all.
Yeah. James, where did you go on?
No, I was just gonna say it was like The Man with No Name. It was like Clint Eastwood-ish a little bit here and there. Even when that scene you just described, that he actually like shot that guy from the hip. That's such a cool cowboy trope, you know. Like they, I don't know. Everything was just like it was so. It's funny because there was so much action, but like all the acting and the minimal dialogue was all delivered with such a. It was like almost like minimalist. It was just like they were like you said, they were like everybody was nameless, and everybody was delivering just like this intense focus. They weren't really like the people, like the main characters, like the people that were actually dangerous, that you were actually sort of vouching for or against, were very controlled in their behavior. So you were kind of, and then the Bruce Dern spin where like you introduce a bank robber with basically like no personality at all. He's just like you guys described him as like a stoic, like a cowboy type, he was like a drifter, like and then you introduce the police officer character, and the guy's a nightmare. He's immediately the villain. So you do that juxtaposition like right away too. So you're vouching, you're rooting for a bank robber and rooting against a police officer. So that's always neat. I mean, I think that was a big 70s thing though too. Like
this is a cowboy movie through and through. Like think about it. Like get rid of the cars and put in horses. It's the same, and you've got bank robbing, you've got gambling. There's even a train heist. It's a goddamn cowboy movie, and it's not like in the movie wears that on its sleeve. I don't think Walter Hill was trying in any respect to hide that. I mean, he's been clear about it in interviews. And even the gun that did you know that there's an internet firearms movie database or internet movie firearms database? I didn't.
That's hilarious.
I did not know that. No.
How did we not discover this? Like when we were talking about Sniper.
I think that speaks to the Sniper franchise, right? But this movie, it has an entry, and I noticed that like dude's using an old school fucking pistol, and it's a Colt single action army rifle, or pistol from like 19th century rifle or early 20th century rifle, or I keep saying rifle, pistol. And that's a nice touch, like it's even, it just kind of cements it. Like you guys he might as well have had spurs on his feet, on his boots.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have thought of that. I didn't notice it at all.
Yeah, you
it did stand out to me as like an old looking pistol though, like that like long barrel, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I only noticed it because I watched it. I had to watch. Well, I didn't have to, but I watched it through a second time and kind of looked up at just right moment. And Bruce Dern is immediately the sheriff. And you guys recognize where Bruce Dern is from?
No.
I couldn't. I love, one of the things I love about these movie reviews is playing the "where have I seen that fucking guy before" game. And he was in The Burbs. He was that crazy military name. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, it just clicked for me.
Yeah, the movie's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he's a ridiculous actor. He's like natural slime. Like he has to be typecast. I would think. I don't see any use for Bruce Dern. He makes you crawl. Like
he's got the best lines though. I could just listen to him talk all day. Like I wrote down like time signatures so I could like sample things to splice into the conversation.
He stole the show too. I mean, and when he confronted the driver's girlfriend,
mm-hmm.
the witness, basically, when he went to her like apartment.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I was
It's such a
genuinely
sleazy
disturbed.
scene.
Like, I was really concerned and disturbed, and like he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything, and you just felt so much like sort of horror and danger. It was so impressive. I don't know. It was quite. That was a 5-star performance.
When he looks at the window and he's like, "This is a nice view, beautiful view." And she's like, "You didn't come here for this.
Get that impression out of here." That's
How old
freaking
is
me
he?
out, man.
And he was like, "I looked you up."
And how he describes it, I'm sure maybe you probably you sure have been around the track a few times. He's just and the way he describes what happened, like whatever it is in her past that he has as leverage against her, I like, it's that scrape, that nasty one, that one that got swept under the rug.
Yeah.
That could be anything, and the movie doesn't give a fuck. It's just like she's got a something, and he's got it. And it's just so, James, you called it minimalist, and like even the interior of her apartment, as you're coming in, like we've lived in those apartments. Like they're not nice. They're shit apartments.
All the like 70s concrete everywhere, and like
yeah,
it looked really nice back then, but now it's like not so hot. But parquet. That like swept under the rug thing. I thought it was kind of cool that the movie didn't actually explore that. They just kind of, like you said, just kind of they left it, which was kind of interesting to see a storyline not try to explore everything that they bring up in the movie.
No, everyone of value remains a mystery. Even I would say even the detective.
Big time.
Even Bruce Dern. I don't like what that guy's fucking story.
What's his problem? Yeah, why is he such a dick every day of his life?
I like how he constantly verbally abused his partner too.
Oh yeah, he's like, "I'm still your manager."
Yeah, got to be a player.
Maybe I should do some digging on you.
Even at the end when he gives him the bag, he tries to like make him hold the empty bag. He's like, "Take it." And he's like, "No," and just like drops on the ground.
Oh, I'm not going to be left holding the bag. That's true to that character though.
Yeah, totally.
I love this. You'd already alluded to it, but I really loved the sports section.
Oh yeah.
When he's like, best part of the newspaper, sports section. You got your winners
and losers. Yeah. Tell you the score. Yeah. I'm a winner. You're a loser.
Yeah. Got to be a player. And then he just maintains that metaphor. Like there's even at the beginning, like the ultimate conflict between the detective, which is he might as well be the sheriff, and the cowboy / driver. It is in an end of itself a gamble. He says to him, you could make a lot of money, or you could lose 15 years, or you could serve 15 years. And Cowboy essentially takes that gamble. And so like there's this like gambling is at the center of, and later on the driver's going to be like, I'm on a streak. I'm going to let it ride, and so there's the gambling element, and then there's also the sports element, like you got to play the game, you got to like, and both of them are at their base, like, American macho. Well, I don't know what to say, like American macho guys, like just.
Yeah, and there's like the hunting aspect too, and he's like, the trap is set.
Yeah.
It's just, this is the easy part right now, and this is the slow part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he ropes those other criminals into trying to recruit the driver. The driver, fucking, how do we know you're any good?
Get in.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucks their car and ruins their lives, and then goes, I don't work with people like you.
Calls them scum. I don't work with scum.
Yeah, he decimates that Mercedes, like knocks every fender off, every part of every bumper.
The door.
Yeah, the door.
Better get new plates. The And I don't really like car chase movies, and I will say on the second viewing, the car chases had a little less luster. I could have done without, like for constantly 20 minutes at a time. But when you first
the end of the movie
great.
too had a real heavy car chase. Exactly.
Yeah, that one went on.
You describe, and it was a bit much. Yeah,
that went on a bit too long for me too. I was like, all right, let's like wrap it up. We kind of have a good idea how this is going to end. So
yeah. I mean, I'll give them credit for trying to make it like a cat and mouse game at the end.
Oh yeah, totally.
That was kind of
like
cool.
The scene in the warehouse was good. They just could have like, pardon the pun, but like cut to the chase. Like, you know what I mean? Like they could have just like cut a lot of that shit out of there and just been like, all right, like here's a like 3-minute car chase into this warehouse and it's cat and mouse now, because that scene was kind of cool. And that's what I would appreciate, that scene being like drawn out a bit more maybe.
Yeah, that's when that Miles Davis shit came out, because it got quiet, and then all of a sudden the Miles Davis trombone started coming out. And, like this is like, I feel weird. I don't know if this movie works as well without the soundtrack. I don't know if because everything about it is so visually sparse that you need something to liven it up, to give you that weird feeling, to set the atmosphere.
I found the end car chase too had Terminator-esque sort of sounds in the chase.
Actually, that's interesting. Yeah, particularly the end bit. Yeah, because it's essentially like a machine hunting you. That's what he amounts to in that moment.
Yeah, you can also like props to the little bad guy driver at the end. He did well.
Yeah, I didn't get that dude's name. He looked like a shitty Edward Scissorhands. What's that dude's name?
Johnny Depp. I thought
like a shitty Johnny Depp, like a
it was like a Johnny Depp Lou Reed kind of mix. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's odd. He's in like leather. He jumped out of the car and he was like fucking right out of grease. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm just the driver. It's like you kind of like.
I just did the drive and I got nothing to do with this.
The cowboy kind of had a little bit of like sympathy for him. It was just like, go home.
That was mercy.
And said that a bunch of times actually in that movie, a few times at least. Go home.
Well, I like how he had that guy, dead to rights, and he tells him, he says, give up, and getting back to the sport metaphor, getting back to the cowboy thing, he does have, although he's furious with everybody constantly and like super intimidating, he does have a sort of sense of honor to him, which is why
I was gonna say like an honor code or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, like, you have to really go back and think too. This would have been done without special effects, excuse me. Yeah, of course it would have special effects and some camera tricks and stuff like that. But I mean, the driving would have been primarily just done by driving, like by stunt driving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
which is fucking wild, super wild and dangerous. Like, we're not talking about Fast and the Furious here. Like, these guys are actually driving cars.
Yeah, it's the heyday of the 1970s, because Walter Hill, I think previous to this, worked on Bullet with Steve McQueen, and one of the little trivia bits that I have is that this was originally written with Steve McQueen in mind, but they ended up with Ryan O'Neal, which I don't think was bad, but I'm sure Steve McQueen would have been it would have been kind of a different movie star sort of movie, whereas this rode the edge between like TV movie and blockbuster movie, not blockbuster.
Definitely did.
Movie, but, yeah.
But like summer kind of movie. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It was very entertaining. So I could see it being a bit more than a TV sort of Thursday night movie or something like that.
Yeah, it has a very high critic review too. Like overall, like.
Over the years, it's found like a cult following is what I gather. Like Tarantino thinks very well of this movie, and we haven't said anything about Walter Hill, the writer director, but like I think James, you especially, much of your life you owe to Walter Hill.
I like this.
Let's unpack this.
Because he's the producer of the Aliens franchise. Like,
shit.
Like, he's produced all the Alien movies. Maybe not all of them, but and has had a hand in developing the story to Aliens and Alien 3, whatever you want to think about that movie. He also was the writer-director of Red Heat, which
I love Red Heat.
Yeah. So anyway, I was just like, wow, like this guy's, but for a nail, the horse was lost, right? But for a horse, the battle was lost. Just without this guy, I don't know where your psychic landscape would be.
I'll have to read about him now. I found a page called Walter Hill's Xenopedia.
All right, man, that's great.
Yeah, I'll treat myself to this little article here. Get a rundown on this. That is really cool.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. He did Warriors. I've never seen Warriors, but I'm afraid to say that around my house when I was a kid, 48 Hours and Another 48 Hours got frequent play, and so while I haven't seen them as an adult, I feel I know those movies really well. With Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte, sort of good cop.
Oh wow, yeah.
What a cast! Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
48 Hours.
Yeah, I remember those movies from when I was a kid too.
Yeah. Probably worth a check out. After having watched this movie, I was like, I think there's a large piece of stuff that I kind of missed and not thinking properly about.
I mean, they got some genuine bad guys. And Another 48 Hours definitely didn't rank as high as regular 48 Hours.
Shocking.
The getting back to the driver, one of the fucking baller scenes, one of the ones that I think just kind of sums him up really nicely, aside from all the cool driving, is that guy shows up at his house, pulls the gun on him, and is like, work with us, and he fucking slaps the gun out of his hand.
Yeah. And he's like, one more time, I'll come back and kill you, and he just like attacks him again.
That's right. I think I wrote down the quote. It's just like, if you do one more thing, I'm gonna kill you. And then he just punches him. Like
he punches him in the face.
Yeah.
He just bridges the gap
and down the stairs too.
Yeah, doesn't give a fuck, and then just like sends him on his way, because he knows he's broken him.
Yeah. This the main character has really nothing left to lose. Like, he lives in shitty fucking motels. Like, even that scene where she was like, TV's $5, and he doesn't even say no. He just looks at her. He's like, and like just goes up the stairs.
Yeah.
This, like, he's got freedom, man. He's got nothing left to lose. It's great.
That's a good point. Yeah, he's never seen to watch TV. Like when the detective shows up in that very same hotel room, gives him the speech about, you wound up so tight you don't have any room for anything else. And it's kind of like that is a moment of character revelation. Like, that's how characterization ought to work, right?
Yeah.
But we never see him watching TV. Like, he was just like laying on the bed, kind of staring at nothing. Like, he doesn't watch TV. He listened to music, waiting for the bank guys at the beginning.
That's right. Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can really think of.
And also stays in like shitty motels, and like he's obviously like making great money.
With that,
doesn't care about the money too. Like he said at one point, like he was just like, I just might mail it back to him. Kind of interesting main character for sure.
Yeah, one of the things that struck me is after the big chaser, and he kills those two, the guy and then the other driver fucks off, and they get the key. They take the bus to like both of them take the bus to the train station, and I was just like, that's such an interesting choice. Like, there's nothing pimping about this guy. There's nothing, like, it's not about any ostentation. He'll drive around like a maniac, like the greatest driver that ever existed, and then take the bus as the next part of his plan with his lady friend.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing, like, he doesn't care. It's like he's got this like weird dedication just to his craft almost. Like, even the fact that he lets like the driver at the end go, he's like, I'm just a driver, like we were talking about earlier. Like, he could have killed him and just been like, witness. He doesn't, though. It's this weird kind of, like I said, dedication to his craft, which is, I think, kind of cool.
Yeah, and the detective, you know, like I respect a man who's good at what he does. And they kind of, you know, I think the detective, I alluded to him rigging the game. Like he is the house. He rigs all the rules. Like he was cheating in the background, playing his quote game. But nonetheless, he's probably very good at it. But he's just never met the cowboy. You know, he's never met the driver before. Yeah. I'm gonna catch the cowboy that's never been caught. Cowboy desperado. Anyway.
Yeah, he was fucked. He did have the best lines too, Bruce Dern. They also like the like I don't know, there was like the driver, like I think he was dialed in a little bit more because he was kind of challenged. Like, yeah. He didn't seem to be that same character like on the onset. He was just like a guy doing jobs. He didn't really have any concern about anybody like dialed in to catch him.
Yeah.
But he ramped it up and took additional risks, I think, because he wanted to kind of go head to head.
Yeah, and that's exactly
you have to do all of that. You have to take out of subtext because there's no fucking dialogue though. So you're kind of make your own, you know, assumptions about things as you go through it.
I think by the end it's pretty clear. Like you're like early on you're like what's motivating, but like at the end you just get the sense like he's just like, fuck this guy, I'm gonna beat him in his own game. You know, I'm on a streak. I'm gonna let it roll. I might mail the money even back to him. You know, because Isabella Johnny basically says to him, you know, she asks him, it's not about them, or accuses him. States.
Yeah, and then she says that's a fool's game, right?
Yeah.
That, and there, well, you know, and I think that, like I just think that, I don't know. I think it's like you say though. I think it's clear by the end that's what they were doing was like that's what he wanted to do was just like he wanted to fucking show this guy up
in a peaceful fashion. Because when all those fucking cops show up at the end, which is a cool scene, man.
Yeah, that is.
He looks around the train station. You know, he doesn't see anything. Goes into his locker, opens the bag, pretends to be surprised or something. You know, so we think maybe the jig is up, and then suddenly it's like the cops are like ghosts. They're just there, like ninjas from the hand. And he just walks away, you know. And
well, that's just it too. Like that's part of the whole like you have to kind of read into different parts of this movie too. Or like, do you feel like he knew the bag was empty and he wanted to just like spit in that cop's face at the end of the movie, which he successfully did? Or do you think he rolled the dice and that bag could have been full of money and he could have been fucked?
Because he knew that. Well, the bag with money, I guess maybe it's because we see that the bag of no, because he had Isabella Johnny do her thing, and basically the bag of money ended up on the train.
No, but the bag he was supposed to have exchanged the bag of money for $1 on every $4. So he was still supposed to have a bag of cash there.
Yeah.
And he didn't though. Like, so he got duped by the exchange guy or whatever. But do you think he already knew that in advance?
I think so. Yeah. Because everything we've seen from this guy, like he just doesn't make mistakes. You know, he's playing proper fifth dimensional chess with fucking Bruce Dern.
Not a fucking game I'd be interested in.
Yeah. That's fair. Man's afraid of heights. Incidentally, the guy who he glasses, you know, like the goon who ends up fucking up the bank. I love how they fuck up the bank job too, and he's panicking and shoots that other guy in the belly.
Oh, they're like a shitty driver, just like, oh, you set the alarm off.
You fuck. Yeah, he's so mad, and he just seems like George Costanza in that moment. I can't fucking. And but jeez. He's the model. Like this is from this movie reminded me also of RoboCop in the sense that like, because that guy's kind of a Clarence Boddigar. Like obviously he's not, because Boddigar's the kingpin of crime apparently in fucking Detroit. But it's the same aesthetic. You know, you just pick someone who looks fucking weird and criminal. it's not a big guy. It's not an assuming guy. It's just someone who, I don't know, just has the fucking creep factor, and can hold the screen. Not that I don't think this guy has it, but like he definitely has that creep factor. Just reminded
me. Definitely does. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the fact that they end up at the warehouse at the end, they pass through the steel mill or the mill of some sort. It just seemed to go in that same trajectory. I don't know if there's any actual relationship between the two movies, but they definitely seem of the era.
It's funny, just actually dawned on me now, talking about the steel mill, like with the Terminator movies, like Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 both end in some sort of like industrial kind of warehouse or whatever. So it's kind of cool to see that in this movie.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, that's definitely part of it as well. Yeah, cool.
It's a good closing scene, right? Like, I actually was thinking like when they were driving into the sort of complex at the end, and there's that big truck that drove by. I was like, I really hope that's like nitroglycerin, but it wasn't. But I was like, that would have been really dirty. But yeah, I that's probably a connection there for sure.
Yeah, cool. I don't know. Do we got anything else on this one?
I don't know. You guys cleaned out the quotes too. I was just checking that out quick. They're all Bruce Dern gems, There
was that gun mouth rape. That was something.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was very uncomfortable. As a torture device, to get a woman to talk, like just to, this gun is real, and but also like it just implies this movie doesn't have any sex. That's probably the most sex this movie had. Even the one sex scene is implied where she like, they talk and they're talking about the plot, and then all of a sudden she's just like, do you have some more time to, the implication being to fuck me before you go on with your master plan, oh cowboy. And yeah, but otherwise it's just like, it's really, the real sex is between Bruce Dern and Cowboy.
Yeah, and then I was, and then he shoots her in the head after the whole like gun move.
Yeah.
So it was like sort of, that was kind of shocking too, because like you said, the movie was like the cowboy and the like, because as fucking whatever amoral as the detective is in the whole movie, he's basically evil. He's still playing by a code of honor. Your cowboy's still playing by a code of honor. No one's been really killed or maimed. Well, there's the guy that got shot in the stomach, but that was almost like comedic, like you said.
Yeah.
And then so like really like seeing that character just get shot in the face to sort of like climax the end of the movie with that random, like goofy bad guy. It was odd. And I mean, I feel like that also put onus on the fact that like none of the like bad guys committing real violent acts were part of the main like cast, really. Like they weren't your characters that you were like vouching for or like watching basically through the movie.
Yeah, they're more like pawns, although that guy's kind of like a stray pawn, like, and Bruce Dern knows that like working with criminals, they're unprofessional, like you don't know. And he's willing to accept like these, it's like he on some level he does understand the basic mechanics of the criminal underworld, and he kind of knows that if like, well, if I make move A, it's going to produce outcome X at some point. And he was willing, like, I think that guy's name was Fingers or some shit like that in the script. I might be wrong about that, but he's the real like Snidely Whiplash kind of guy. And it's a stupid animosity between like the cowboy like beats the shit out of him, just like treats him like a fucking bitch. I don't want that guy involved. Like he knows that guy is that guy, doesn't want anything to do with him. And then, but just because of the plot, just because they're kind of like connected together. But you're right, James. It's secondary to everything else that happens, but also very important to the story. Like it's such a simple story, but it's not simple.
Well, it was just like the violence, like the murder is just like a shocking moment that kind of pushes your driver to the edge. And I mean, I think in that moment too, I think I thought to myself, I'm like, oh man, is he gonna fuck up and get caught by Bruce Dern now? Like because he's like enraged about that incident or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, real gem.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were walking into like a grade A gem, but I mean, from my perspective, that's kind of what we bumped into here. I was super happy with it. Are there any bad reviews of this movie?
No.
I've got I would watch this again.
There's some like middle
anytime.
of the road reviews, but like nobody's coming below 7.
Yeah, that's fair. So I don't
even
know.
Those ones, I didn't see many of those. Most people are like, this is like whatever Walter Hill's high water mark.
It's a second
underrated like moment of magic kind of.
Yeah, well, yeah, like a second album. Although a lot of people like Warriors. Again, haven't seen it. A lot of people like 48 Hours. It's been a long time. Red Heat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nirvana's Incesticide, not very good. Oh.
Whoa.
Listen, I'm saying it,
That has some good stuff, but I think I'm going to agree.
Poppy punk, man. That's poppy punk. It's good. It's fine. Take it for what it's worth.
Okay.
In Utero's better.
Hands down, but different album, man. Different intent. That's another podcast.
I see we have to have a Nirvana themed episode. Yeah, we can talk about fucking whether he's alive or not. It's like Elvis, man.
Oh man, he's dead. So I don't think that's a hot take.
I think we should. Sorry, who killed him though? Right? For what reasons? That's the talk.
I'll get into that one. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, let's rate the movie, and then we'll talk. We'll talk about Nirvana. Yeah, I'm fucking hot. Yeah, I want to talk about this. All right. So, I'll go first. So I've decided that like when I say like 7 out of 10, it's because I don't actually want to say like 8 or 9. Like I lower everything down because I don't want to seem as if I go on a limb, say this is a great movie, this is a perfect movie, and the instinct is to kind of like not do that. But I think this is a 9 out of 10. I just think we've already said the car chases go on a little too much, but I think otherwise, I don't know, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? This rookie score, round number. I'm gonna give it a 7.6.
Whoa.
Okay.
Interesting. All right, that's fair.
7.6. Go on.
I think it's I don't know. Well, like I don't know. 8, 9, 10. I feel like are the best.
Okay,
like,
I'm gonna. So, sir, I'm gonna confront you.
Are you confronting me on one of my previous scores?
I might.
I hope so, because I'm interested in the memory here, because I could probably defend it.
So okay. Before we do that though, Adam.
8.5. This is a good
high, very high.
Good 85%. Very entertained.
Okay.
Low expectations going in. You watched it this afternoon and very happy with it. Would watch it again without a doubt. Recommend it. Yeah. Very entertained. Well done.
Yeah, I might get the poster. So, 2 listeners to this program, like I've got people who listen to this, friends, and you were like, I asked you like, what's a 10? What's a 10, James? And you were like, Fight Club. And then the next day they were just like, no.
They didn't really. They weren't feeling that.
Yeah, well, I just like, and I don't know, like, I think we'd have to watch it. I think you'd be disappointed.
Or did I just drop the mic on that?
you dropped. I was like, James, what's a 10? And you thought about it for a little bit, and then like that was what you pulled. That was what you pulled from the air.
I pulled the ace in the hole. That was it.
Yeah.
On
and
the mic drop. I didn't give any secondary. I didn't say like The Godfather or The Shining, anything like that.
It doesn't have. This has nothing to do with like sort of film snobbery or anything. I just don't think. Like, would you actually think that if we watched it? I guess is what I thought about. And then I was like, what's his real 10? Like,
I think maybe I think for production value and unique script and actors like getting like carried right into their roles and for just like one-off oddities, like I still think that, I don't know, if it's maybe not a 10, but like I don't see how you could rate it lower than 9.
There we go.
So what's your 10? But yeah, I don't know. That's such I guess like a personal thing. Like I think Alien is a 10.
Well, but that's fair. Like I guess that goes to the thing. Like we seem to be afraid of giving things a 10. Like of saying like this is the thing that for me is perfect. Because it doesn't really matter. I mean, no one from
Pulp Fiction. I don't know.
That's a fun one. That's not bad. I guess at the end of the day, I guess I'm just thinking that like God is not watching us right now. The universe doesn't care if we say that we love something.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we're just like I'm just popping off for a guy that just likes movies. Like that's not like I don't like critically here. Like what are we? I'm not talking about the camera lens that they use to make this movie or anything. I don't know anything about filmography. Or really like anything other than whether or not the script was like palatable by a regular Joe and just not total shit. That's pretty much how I do it. So it's I don't know. I don't like. I mean, I'm sure like Rocky. I don't know.
Oh, Rocky's all right. That's fun. All right.
Anyway, at least I threw some more examples up in the air to make your friends turn their noses up.
Well, yeah, that's fine. It's not about that. I just thought it was funny because like even in, like as the moment when you said it, like in that thing, I was like, no, that's not. That's not.
You were like, but you have to admit that you were like, no, but maybe.
Yeah, well, maybe. I like that movie a lot.
I think everybody said no, but also that movie's super good, so hard to refute.
Anyway, so who fucking killed Kurt Cobain?
Oh man. I was just looking at this on the web while we were talking here.
Yeah.
It appears that there was a FBI file that the Bureau had not commented on and kept aside for like decades. That it was basically a file they had on conspiracies and they were recently released.
I'm liking it already. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was there something in there? What
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to. The mere 10 pages of the file is slim but intriguing.
Jesus Christ.
This is what it's going to be like when they open up the Kennedy assassination. Like
yeah, exactly. Not much here, but it's kind of interesting.
10 pages. Well, there's this guy on the street said something intriguing to me. Said it was fucking Officer Yahoo down the road.
Yeah, so do we think Courtney Love, that's her name, like in what way do we think that she did it?
I don't think she did.
You don't. You think it's just straight up suicide?
Okay. Yeah. She's a 27-year-old heroin addict who hated his life and swallowed a fucking shotgun shell. I mean,
yeah. His journal. Cynthia has a. I believe, for whatever it's worth, I understand it to be a reproduction of one of his journals or his journal.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, and I honestly, like saying it out loud now, I'm like, it's not actually his journal, but I've operated under the assumption that it is, and he doesn't seem well.
No, he hated his life. He hated his life for a long time.
Yeah.
No surprises. Like
here's
it's not
this.
like a Jimi Hendrix thing where you're like, oh shit, wow, fucking guy died. Like Kurt Cobain died. You're like, oh wow, yeah, no, that's totally expected. Like
It was like when that who's that fucking sad singer died? The oh shit, that's not a helpful way of describing it. I feel his name is like Will something or fuck, I don't know. I just remember like a decade ago, some guy commits suicide, and just remember everybody like thinking like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, it's like the guy from Linkin Park that used to fucking sing songs for like 20 years about like life being fucking awful or whatever.
Or Amy Winehouse, you're like, wow, like I mean,
like,
fucking talented, but you're like, shit, yeah, not surprised she fucking died.
Yeah.
So here's a good one, guys. Tom Grant, a Los Angeles-based private investigator and former LA County Sheriff's deputy, and his suspicions that the suicide ruling was a rush to judgment. The fact sheet claimed Grant found a numerous number of inconsistencies, including questions about the alleged suicide note, which Grant believed was a retirement letter to Cobain's fans. Ooh.
Oh, I like that. That's like everything you thought you knew was true is not.
That's right.
Yeah. That's nice. That's a good old conspiracy theory. That's what I'm looking for. You know, like and then,
very vague.
Yeah.
Based on fact. It's kind of you got to think about it.
Yeah, based on ideas. And then so who benefits from this? What's the classic, Courtney theoretically.
Yeah, there's some producers, Courtney. There's some bad things going on, I can tell you that.
Not benefit from anything. She's like fucking sewer water. Like, honestly, she's done nothing since Hole.
I'm glad you gave her props for Hole, because that's a pretty good.
She's rich, and she got rid of him, Adam.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if her plan was to get rid of him and get richer, it didn't work. Like,
great
like plan.
That. Yeah. Yeah, because no benefits. Like, it's not like there's a hologram of him showing up anywhere. Like, he didn't own a bunch of shit. Like, Michael Jackson had weird money because the people who owned him did a good job.
Courtney Love's net worth 2021 $100 million. You're wrong.
I don't know.
Like, that's not.
Did you just drop a mic?
Like,
is that what happened?
Yeah, that's right. I dropped the mic right there.
I heard a thump. I never. Where did you? Because all you did was type in Courtney Love net worth, and some webpage just gave you
facts come up. That's right. The Google tells.
Like, what's she making $100 million off? Like, I'm not.
Fucking, that's Cobain money, bro.
She does look like she looks like. Sometimes some of the pictures, you remember Casino? I know.
This year, hang on. People ask. Love inherited both Kurt's writing and publishing rights, which were valued at 130 and 115 million, respectively.
So every time someone uses
looks like fucking motive to me.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But she could have made so much more if she just like waited a little bit for him to like get
totally. Yeah, exactly.
But he might have. Maybe he was going to break up with her.
I'm sure there's some
just like fed him a bit more heroin and dropped another album.
Yeah, for sure. There was more to milk out of that fucking cow. I don't think she was like, it's ready to be put down. It doesn't make any sense.
Also, she's not that astute either. Like, just like, all right, this one's done. Let's fucking kill him and move on.
But I mean, all she has to do is get a little bird in her ear there. One of the producers,
I could take care of you, baby. Get you all the hair.
I tell you what, you just gotta kill him tonight, and we'll fly off my island.
I own the media, so I'll spin the whole thing. I don't. It's always fucking people like creating one of those cork boards in the back of their fucking garage and putting strings between shit and calling themselves like, I used to be a cop. Like,
you mean like fucking Detective Fanboy's FBI document?
Yeah.
All right, okay. I mean, you guys seem to have got me on this one. I did my best,
Appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
I always make an effort to devil's advocate things, You gotta at least try.
I enjoyed gaming through that because like I was like, well, maybe. I guess the question, yeah, because she went on to do a bunch of movies and stuff too. She was cast in lead in John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars, backed out after injuring her foot. Guess I'll have to take that back. She was not in movies.
Was
I don't know.
People versus Larry Flint.
Right. Yeah. So she did some stuff.
Yeah, she did like at least
after
one
she-
movie.
Pretty loose, guys. Yeah.
I'm just. She put out an album. She put out like since she was in She was in Sid and Nancy 1, 2, 3, 200 Cigarettes. That's a Jim Jarmusch movie. Man on the Moon.
You think she would have been? You think she would have been had an album, or been a person of interest to anyone without him?
Hopefully not.
No, but she didn't need to kill him in order to be that, right? Like she already had that.
Yeah, she had that. Yeah.
Yeah. She already won the race or whatever, right?
Yeah. And then she put out albums 1991, 1994, 98, 2010. I'm sure that's a great one.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to listen to that one.
Yeah. Maybe when we're done here, I'll play us out to something from 2010.
I was gonna say I'm probably good though. Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess Kurt Cobain did kill himself. Is I think where we're landing on this.
Kind of where the story leads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah.
Right.
Feels that way.
Yeah. That's too bad. Well, anyway, next time, everyone. I don't know what we're gonna do next time. Maybe a Terminator thing. Maybe JFK. I don't know.
Guess I'm just
Find
a
out.
real friendly
The
guy.
search continues.
Yeah.
A friend of yours told me where I could find you in the middle of the day.
I don't have any friends.
That's right. No friends. No steady job. No girlfriend. You live real cheap. You don't ask any questions. Boy, you got it down real tight. So tight there's no room for anything else. That's a real sad song. Only trouble is, sad songs ain't selling this year.